Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. And in particular, before I start, I just wanted to thank everybody that messaged me and contacted me yesterday. If you're watching this in a few months' time, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. So I will just say that we had Storm Kathleen, and little old Selsey, where I live, was on the main news, world news even, because I had people contact me from America and all over the place. So thank you for thinking of us. Fortunately, we are on the other side of the village to where all the problems happened. And generally where it happened was a caravan holiday park in an area which constantly floods. And to be absolutely honest with you, I'm not quite sure why anyone would want to have a holiday caravan quite there, apart from in a heat wave. But I certainly wouldn't want to have been there at this time of the year. And unfortunately, with the really high winds and an extremely high tide, the combination flooded the area. Isn't the first time, isn't the last. But I think I'm right in saying that most people were fine. So that's the main thing, isn't it? But as I said, thank you very much for your concern, because it was lovely that you thought of me. So what I'm going to do is show you today. I'm going to use some of our existing bits and pieces and also bring in some new embossing folders. So all the things that I've got here today are available over on the maximumcrafts.com website. That's where you need to take yourselves if there's anything that you need. Restocks of card is available over there as well. Restocks of a few other dies that I've got here, and the new embossing folders which are here. So I'm going to go through what I'm going to use, and I'm taking what you may already have up to the next level. Still very achievable, but maybe the next step on. So that's where we're going. So that's where you've got to go to collect your bits and pieces. So I'm going to be working with the Maximum Crafts Curvy Panel, which is restocked. So that was something we brought out last month and far more popular than I thought it would be, which I'm very pleased to say we've now got back in stock. I'm going to be using the Maximum Crafts Passion Flower, which is a set of 3 dies, and I'm going to be using those. I'm also going to use, you can't see it very well, but it's the Creative Expressions Stacked Happy Birthday. Can't see it very well there. It just fits in well with the card that I'm making. And I'm going to be using one of the new embossing folders from Creative Expressions. This one is called Art Deco Arches. There are 3 others in the series. If you pop over to the maximumcrafts.com website, you'll be able to see the other 3. They're 5 by 7 and they are 3D. So they're a very deep, crisp pattern. And one of the new things that I think is really good about the embossing folders from Creative Expressions is that they've now got, June will be pleased about this, they've now got written on them who they're by, the number, the code number, and what they're called, and they are on what I would call the top of the card. So I thought you would be, June. So they will, that is the right way up. So if you put your card in and you've got single-sided card, that is the side that you want if you want it an embossed way. So I thought I'd just comment on that I'm really pleased that they thought about that, because I think that makes, for the future, I always mean to, but I don't remember to actually write on my embossing folders what they are, and then I wish I had. But they've done it all for us, so that's really good. Yeah, I agree, Nicola. They should have thought about that a long time ago. Yeah, but anyway, they didn't, but they have now. So let's just be thankful for what we got, eh? So what am I going to do with it all? So I'm going to show you step by step how I'm going to put this card together. And I've stepped out of my comfort zone. I said I would. And I'm choosing the colour turquoise. So that's the colour I'm going with. Beautiful turquoise colour. So Let me pop that to one side. I'm going to work with a 6x6 card blank, and I think I'm going to work with it so that it's a side fold, but you could do either, doesn't really matter. And I have already cut a piece of card out, which is 14 centimeters square. And then that can go straight on to the front of my card blank. And why not just put it on there to start off with? Now, what I've done is I have, well, cheated a bit in as much as I have actually cut out some of the bits and pieces that I wanted to, but I will explain why I've done such a thing as I go along. So I'm going to pop that on. So as I said, 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters in turquoise pearl, this one is. So then I've taken a piece of my white hammered card, could be ordinary white card, but I've got white hammered, and I've cut that to 13.5 by 13.5. Now, the reason why I've done that is when I cut out my, hold on, I'm trying to grab hold of it to show you. When I cut out my curvy panel measures 13.5 centimeters along that line. And I wanted this to cover it exactly like that in a short while, but I wanted a little border all the way around. So that's the way that I've chosen to do this first. So I can put my piece of white hammered card right down onto the top, and that one is done. So pop that in place, leaving that little coloured border all the way around. Okay, so pop that to one side, and then I've taken my curvy panel die. Really very, very simple, but the beauty of it is that simplicity can then be upgraded or stay the same, whichever. We're going to do a bit of both on this one. So I have cut 2 of them from the white hammered card. 2 pieces, exactly the same, from the white hammered card. Now, what I'm going to do with one of them is I'm going to run that through my embossing folder. And as I said, the one that I'm using is called Art Deco Arches. It's a really deep impression, very, very deep. Not quite sure if you're going to see it quite so well with the white card. So I have done it in another colour to show you in a second. So I've got my top of my piece of paper, which in this case is the hammered. It won't make any difference once I've put it through a folder, obviously. And I'm just going to pop that for easiness. I'm going to line it up to the actual pattern that's in the folder. And then I'm going to close that down. I'm not going to touch this one. I'm going to leave that one. Now, I'm then going to, I know this is going to be a bit very odd for you to see because, oh gosh, I'm going to bring in my machine. You can't see it really well, I know. But this is this Platinum 6 machine, and I like using this for my embossing folders. I like using it for the 3D ones, especially because it can't be more simple. So it's this is the base plate, and this is the way that they explain it's all stuck to the embossing folder. Sorry, the base plate. I don't have to think about it. How to build a 3D embossing folder sandwich. Yep, that's the one I want. Got the platform base. Yep. Got the 3D embossing folder with the paper inside. Yep, that's that. And then I've got the D adapter plate. So I'm just going to pop that in. This is a manual machine. Excuse my hands. Get it around the right way. But hopefully I'm not shaking it too much. It's really easy to go through. I do find that sometimes the electronic ones, the pressure is a little bit too much. So you can see we have got that beautiful pattern. Can you see that? It's really a beautiful pattern. And if I show you on here, I think it perhaps shows even more how beautiful that pattern is. So I did it in a different colour, just playing to see if it worked. So this is in the burgundy colour, and I think that that works really, really well. So that's your burgundy pearl. So now I don't want to leave it just there. Let me show you. That is how that is how I'm going to be going-ish on my card, but I want it to have a little tinge of the turquoise as well. So if I put it onto my card here like that, you'll see that I've already got the outside piece. Bring that up a bit closer. Already got the outside piece, but what I want is a little piece that's going to go down here. So we simply take a little slither of our card, we take our curvy frame, put it on so that it's roughly that sort of just about in. I need it about 1 centimetre down because I'm going to trim it a little bit. I'm going to pop a bit of tape onto there and then run it through my machine. Just move my machines around here. And then that will give me just a very, very slight piece that all I need to cut out and give me just a slither. In a minute, you'll see what I mean. So now you could cut a full piece out, which I've also done just to show you. But I'll also show you that you really only need a little tiny bit of it as well. So you can see when I've cut it that I'm just going to throw that bit away. Although, to be honest, that's actually the other side of it, isn't it? So I could cut that out as well. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to. So I'm going to chop that bit off. And then I've got a bit there which is a bit too big. So we will just take a pair of scissors or a fold cutter. Let's just do that and just take a slither off because I only need a little bit. So I've now got my 2 pieces. And all I'm going to do with those is simply take my pattern, the piece that I want. I'm just going to put some glue on it and then slip that in behind it so that when it is on my card, we will then look like that, giving that little tiny border. But as I said with the curvy panels before, the reason why I wanted to do these is because I can't be doing with those little thin pieces of metal, which normally are how you define your lines. And I think this is a much better plan. So just going to stick that edge to edge because it's exactly the same size. And just put it on there. And then the same with this one. A little bit of glue. No one's going to see it because it's right at the back. Edge to edge. Whoops. And bring that in so that it's also just giving that little edge. Now, if you recall, I didn't do anything at all with that piece, but because it is hammered finished, it does give it a little something there. And you've got that texture, which just breaks it up very, very slightly. Now I'm going to turn them over and I'm going to put a bit of foam on there. Why don't manufacturers put codes and company name on all dies as well? Sizzix. Yeah, it would be so much more helpful, wouldn't that? Yeah, I agree with you. I think putting some codes on these embossing folders is a really good way to go. A bit excessive there with the foam. You don't need as much as I've just decided to put on. And you don't need to raise them, but I just think that they look a little bit nicer if they are raised. But now I'm pleased to see, with Creative Expressions, I'm pleased to see that not only have we got that, but we've also, all their new dies are in the thin packets, instead of those awful clamshell-like things, which I am very much more amenable to. So I'm going to put this right to this far corner, right up to the edge. And then we've got that edge all the way round it, plus now this lovely curvy edge here without any trouble whatsoever. No measuring, just a scrap. Just cut out the curvy panel again. Let's remove those bits. As I said, I went a bit, it's not really necessary to put all that foam on. But hey ho. Oh, let's put it around the right way. And then edge to edge again. And you've now got that lovely curvy line right down the middle. Okay, so that's the start. Now let's put some of these gorgeous, well, I think they are, passion flowers together. So I'm going to grab my moulding mat and I'm going to grab my large-ended ball tool, because that's going to make life easier. I have already cut them out, and I've cut out 3 like this. I've already done one up, so I'll do that in a second. So these have been cut from the largest flower, and they have been cut from the turquoise again, so the same card that we've used all the base. And then I'm just going to go around, just get my fingernail into the each of the petals and just push those pieces up, so that already is giving me a little start. Okay, then I've just been trialing some new silver glitter cards. Yummy. I wish you could see this in real life, because it's beautiful. It is very glittery, non-shed of course, and I'm really pleased that we've got that to trial, and definitely we'll be getting that. So I've cut the second die of my passion flowers out from that. I'm going to take my ball-ended tool and then just give it a little bit of a tickle in the middle, and then I've gone along and they've fallen down with silver mirror card with the smallest flower of the passion flowers, and then I'm just going to wiggle that a little bit and find the one that must have dropped down. Here it is. Here it is. Come on, come to mummy. There we are. So we're simply going to pop all those 3 together. So I'm going to start off this way round with a bit of glue into the center of our turquoise base, and then the beautiful silver glitter goes there and there. Try and get those centered, and then on top of that is going the layer of the silver mirror card. Now I am going to try, she says, to be patient, because just need to hold those down for a second, because it does take a little bit longer for the mirror card to adhere to the glitter card. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of, you know what, je ne sais quoi. Hopefully that should linger. Now, pushing that down an extra bit to get a little bit of movement from my flowers. As I said, I did do earlier a 3rd one, so we've got 3 of those, and I've gone along and I've also cut a couple of extra of these, which I thought, you know, these could even be snowflakes. So these are the centers of the passion flowers. But when I've cut them out in this beautiful glitter card, I thought, gosh, they're going to look really good as snowflake pieces as well, aren't they? So I thought I'd cut some of them out as well. So bringing back my card, I want to pop in my sentiment first because I need to place that just right. Otherwise it's going to be in the wrong place. So my sentiment, I've cut that out again from the turquoise card, and that's going to go just down there. So I'm going to stick that into place first, and then we can pop the flowers into place, knowing that it's not going to cover the sentiment. Well, not unless I put it in the wrong place, but it's much easier to see where you should be aiming for if the sentiments are already in place. Okay. So when we did the curvy panel before, if you recall, we had the curvy panel going around that way. But this time it's an upright one, and it's got a nice sort of little bump here, which easily takes my sentiment. And so that is where the sentiment is going to go, like that. And then I'm going to put in my passion flowers. And in order to do that, I'm going to grab my Pinfair glue and spatula, couldn't think what you called it, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back. Now where I'm going with that is in this sort of channel that this has caused. If you look, I don't know if you can see it from there, but because I put foam on it, it's caused like this little channel. So I'm going to put one up here. Oh, might help if I put the glue on it, wouldn't it? No wonder it wouldn't stick. One there. I'm going to put another one down here, but this time I'm putting it slightly over a bit, if I can grab hold of it. I'm putting a nice big chunk because it is quite a deep, it's a 2mm foam, so it is a little bit deep there. So that one there, and then another bit for here, and that one is going to go there. And then I'm going to come along with my two little actual flower centers, but I'm not using them as flower centers, I'm using them as more like an embellishment. So I'm just going to put again on the back, nice dollop to keep it upright, and then tuck that into there, putting it to one side so that it looks as if it's just random. Well, it is kind of random, isn't it? And then that one there, and then we're going to just tuck that one. Hold on a second. Don't like that. That I squashed it. Squashed it in the wrong place. Don't want to squash it in the wrong place. That's better. That's where I wanted it, like that. So I'm just going to put the lid back on here. Now, as we said before, when we launched the curvy panels, you can use any embossing folder that you like. These are particularly nice. Let me bring this other one back in to show you. I can't wait to get the diamond one. The diamond one I think looks very, very lush, but you can see it there, I know, but you can also see it particularly well on there. Gives a very lovely finish. But so this is my card for you for today. So it's using the curvy panels, which are these, giving you these sides, and it gives you that little curvy line that I've put there as well. I've used the Maximum Craft Passion Flower die, and I've used the Creative Expressions Mini Expressions Stacked Happy Birthday, and I've then used one of the new Art Deco embossing folders, which are 3D embossing folders. And all of this is available over on the website. So let me just remind you what I've got coming up. So tomorrow evening, for a lovely group of, well, hard workers, they're going to have to be, because we are making a fantastic project tomorrow. Bit of an intermediate range of skills needed for this one, but still we can work our way through at whatever pace we like. And this is going to be at 6:30. So I'm sure that most of you, if you look in your emails, the ones that are booked on for it, you should be able to see your links. And I had to send out 2 emails because speaking to a lovely June, we come up with a bit of an extra plan. So 2 lots of homework you've got to do. And then I will be back on Sunday this week, which is the 14th of April at 6 o'clock with the next instalment. It's like watching a soap opera, isn't that, eh? Although I think it was Julie that said her daughter thinks that this is the excitement of her week. And I'd like to think it's the excitement of my week as well, to have a chat with you all, which is lovely. So if you have liked what you've seen, yeah, Nicola, it is a shame that you didn't get to see this. You know, these things happen, don't they? I'm just saying that Linda Croft has left a message. So I'm giving you a message, Linda. Don't worry, your items that we put by are all safe for you. I still won't be here tomorrow morning, I'm afraid. So I'm with you. Don't worry, they're safe. Okay, they're safe. We would like some thumbs up, please. Down here somewhere along there would be absolutely fantastic. And sorry, I've just seen that Nicola's, it's the excitement of her week as well, and the hubby gets jealous. So be it. At least it's only craft day. But don't say that you're going to see Max. Then you might have problems. I hope you've enjoyed the card today. I'll take a picture properly so that you can see it in all its glory. It's nice to do a different colour for you, and I'm loving the way that all of those work together. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Have a good rest of the week, and I will see you on Sunday when you're nice and relaxed, and I've got something a little bit special for you then. Take care till then. Thank you very much. Bye.